What's up guys, and welcome back to another video here on B-Mills Wrestling. In today's video, I'm going to be reading your guys' WWE hot takes. Before we get into the video, if you guys are not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. And don't forget to leave a like down below. Alright guys, let's get right into this video. The first hot take we have says, I know many of us want CM Punk vs John Cena at Money in the Bank, but I don't think it's going to happen. Something is going to happen during the match at Saturday night's main event, to have Punk be around Seth and Braun for a little while longer. If this is the case, I have a feeling that CM Punk and Roman Reigns will be teaming up at Money in the Bank. So yeah, I know a lot of us do want CM Punk versus John Cena to happen at Money in the Bank because that's where they had their classic match for the WWE Championship back in 2011. So it would make sense to do that on John Cena's retirement tour. But I don't want it to happen strictly for the fact that between Saturday night's main event and Money in the Bank, it's a 2-week span. Do you really want a 2-week build of John Cena and CM Punk? I don't think so. We need a very long build between John Cena and CM Punk. CM Punk's probably John Cena's greatest rival of all time, if it's not Randy Orton. So they definitely need to at least have a 4 to 5 week build for that match. And what you were saying about CM Punk being around Braun and Seth a little longer, I could see that. I think it's going to end at Money in the Bank. My prediction is that CM Punk's going to team with Sami Zayn again and Jey Uso to go against Braun, Seth, and the third member of the faction, whether that's Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Ethan Page, whoever it may be. I think it'll be a 6-man tag. I think Seth's faction will win the match, and then I think we are going to see the return of Roman Reigns. Roman's going to come back and take out Seth. I think they're going to remove CM Punk from this storyline, and I think they're going to have some OG bloodline stuff with Roman, Sami, Jey Uso, maybe Jimmy Uso as well, go against Seth and this new faction, and then throw CM Punk into a program with John Cena building up towards SummerSlam. That is what I think is going to happen. The next one we have says Sami Zayn is turning on CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. He's the third man. Sami brings incredible emotion to everything he does. I don't hate this. I really don't, and I could definitely see it happening because they've kind of teased it, right? The way Sami is looking at Jey Uso when he's holding the world title, just those mini interactions. Remember when he was holding the steel chair next to Punk and Jey? Like, they're kind of trying to tell us something. They might be trying to tell us something, but I don't think it will happen. But, like, I'm not ruling it out because, like, we don't know who that third member is going to be. We're all assuming there's going to be a third member. I wouldn't hate it. Right? I would not hate this because it's something like you wouldn't really see coming. Like no one saw Seth Rollins turning on the Shield when that happened. Like this could be just as crazy. I'm not saying like the storyline is going to be the exact same, obviously, but this could really help Sami Zayn like get back to being in the main event status, right? Because I feel like right now he's in a spot where nobody's really caring for his gimmick because it's kind of the boring babyface gimmick where he just does everything that he needs to do. That's right. He needs to stand up for everybody, stand up for what's right, whatever. I don't think anybody, including myself, cares about that gimmick that he currently has. So I would love to see things change for Sami Zayn, him go back to being a heel and not a comedic heel. Him being in this faction would make him a serious heel, which is something like we have not seen out of Sami Zayn. Anytime he's been a heel, he's been a comedic heel. So this could be really good for Sami Zayn, and it could ultimately lead to him finally securing his first world championship in WWE. So I absolutely would not hate if this happens. The next one we have says, love Rhea Ripley, but Kairi Sane should have won. And obviously this is implying that Kairi Sane should have won the Money in the Bank qualifier triple threat match between herself, Rhea Ripley, and Zoe Stark. And by the way, prayers out to Zoe Stark. She took a gruesome injury to that knee, so hoping that she has a speedy recovery. But back to this comment about how Rhea Ripley should not have won the match. I think she should have won the match. Now, I know Kairi Sane is that high flyer that makes more sense for the Money in the Bank stipulation, but Rhea Ripley needs to be on a PLE. She wasn't on Backlash. She's not going to be on Saturday night's main event. And if you have her miss Money in the Bank, I feel like, you need to have your best women's superstar, your hottest women's superstar on these type of PLEs, right? Money in the Bank is one of the best PLEs WWE has to offer. So I do feel like she should be in this match at Money in the Bank. I don't think that she should win it by any means. She doesn't need to win it because she can get herself a world title match if she just tells Adam Pearce, right? Because that's basically how things work with her. Now, just playing around. But I definitely think she should be in the match. I think Kairi Sane will eventually get a bigger push, or at least I'm hoping, because she is super talented. I do think that she just needs to get, build more of a crowd reaction. Obviously, that takes time. But I do think that they can definitely do something more with her. I just think that's probably post Money in the Bank. Maybe she gets into a program with Io Sky. I'm not sure. But I definitely do think Rhea should have won. I know that's a hot take, but I think Rhea makes more sense for this Money in the Bank match. She's going to draw the eyes to the match, and I think that's exactly what WWE wants. The next one we have says, Roxanne Perez would be the perfect Money in the Bank winner. I absolutely 1000% agree with you on this. I think Roxanne should be Miss Money in the Bank. I think it makes perfect sense. My two candidates are her and Naomi. I would not mind either or winning that Money in the Bank match, but I do hope that it is Roxanne Perez because they're kind of taking the same exact route that they took with Tiffany Stratton last year when Tiffany won the briefcase. If you think about it, Tiffany was in the Royal Rumble match. She was, I think, in the Final Four. Roxanne was Final Two. They were both in the Elimination Chamber matches, right? Obviously coming up short. And then Tiffany would end up winning Money in the Bank. So I think they can do the same exact thing with Roxanne Perez. And I think her gimmick fits the briefcase so much. Just being that cocky type of heel that you might not think is believable to win a world title. So her winning the briefcase and cashing in would make perfect sense. Literally just how Tiffany Stratton did. Because I don't think that a lot of people were bought into the fact that Tiffany could just beat a world champion one-on-one, right? They thought the briefcase was what would help her, and that absolutely did. So I do think that they should take the exact same route with Roxanne, and I think with this whole Judgment Day stuff now, with Roxanne potentially being added, or whatever they're going to do with that storyline, I think it's perfect. You could do something where Roxanne wins Money in the Bank, maybe Liv's in the match as well. Roxanne pushes Liv off the ladder, Roxanne wins it, and there's like that tension between the group that finally leads to like the split or whatever they're planning on doing. I think that that's perfect. So I agree with you. I think Roxanne should definitely win the Money in the Bank briefcase this year. The next one says, Roxanne joining the Judgment Day is the perfect way for Liv to come back. I actually can't wait for this story. Yeah, I absolutely cannot wait for this story as well. I think it's going to be super interesting. You know, we obviously saw Roxanne Perez gift Dominic Mysterio those chicken nuggets, probably cold as hell, and they were in a clothing box, so I don't know what that was about. But this storyline is definitely going to cook. It might end up with Dom just getting another girl secure, right? From Rhea to Liv to Roxanne. That would be a crazy team that he's putting together. But I absolutely love this storyline. I think that this is huge for Roxanne Perez because obviously she's new to the main roster. There might be people that don't, there definitely is people that don't watch NXT that just watch the main roster and, you know, may not be too familiar with Roxanne. This will help totally, right? Like throwing her into a main event scene faction, like a faction that is literally on screen in the clubhouse every week. Like WWE pays great attention to them. Like they're always on camera doing something. They always have one of the top storylines on Raw. This is huge for her. This is going to help build her up to the moon, right? So I am absolutely excited. And like you were saying, this is the perfect way to bring Liv Morgan back. Yeah, I absolutely agree because it'll build tension between Dom, Liv, and Roxanne or whatever they're planning on doing. And like I just said for the last hot take, Roxanne and Liv could be the last two fighting for the briefcase with Roxanne winning, and that just causing more tension between the group. So I am super excited for this storyline. Next one says, I love how they are continuing the Becky vs. Lyra feud. This is definitely going to set up a SummerSlam match between the two, and I think Bayley is going to get involved and make it a triple threat. Yeah, this has been a really good storyline, and thank God, because this women's Intercontinental title needed a good storyline so badly. I've said that in a ton of my previous videos. The women's IC title has just been booked horribly, but now that Becky's involved, we're finally getting like the real side of Lyra Valkyria, where we're getting to see her emotions and like get to know her more than I feel like we all did. We didn't really have like this feeling that like we knew the real side of Lyra Valkyria. We're just seeing like kind of like the gimmick she's playing. Now we're finally getting her cutting promos and we're seeing a different side of her, which I think is just so important for a young superstar that they're trying to essentially build into the main event scene. And Becky Lynch has helped with that so much. Call her Becky Hogan if you want, but she put over Lyra Valkyria and she's been putting her over in promos as well. So she has taken Lyra to the next level, or at least helped her get there, because obviously Lyra has done a lot of that work herself. And like Bayley being involved in this storyline sooner than rather than later, I think that will happen as well. I think that it could be a triple threat at SummerSlam. I also think that they might do Becky versus Bayley, a one-on-one at SummerSlam for the title. Either way, I am completely fine with it because we're finally getting real feuds, real storylines that have meaning, that make this title like mean something. So I'm just super proud that we're getting that. Now we just need them to do that with the damn women's US title because that hasn't had a real feud since it's been introduced. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I love how they're continuing this storyline. I don't think that it needs to end anytime soon because it doesn't feel stale. It doesn't feel dry. Like it feels like it's just getting started if I'm being honest. So I'm super excited for what the future holds for Lyra Valkyria and this women's Intercontinental title. The next one we have says, why is this match not for the title? And it's John Cena versus R-Truth at Saturday Night's Main Event. I don't think it should be for the title because who is going to believe that R-Truth is going to be the one to dethrone John Cena? Like, do you actually believe that's going to happen? No. The title doesn't need to be on the line. Yeah, if it was on the line, would it have a different meaning? Sure. But like I said, it's not believable enough to the point where you're like, oh yeah, R-Truth has a serious chance to win the title. No, with Randy Orton, yeah, you could see like a slight chance Randy was going to win the title. Like, he's very believable to do that. Obviously, a lot of people didn't think John Cena was going to lose that early into his title reign, but there was still that little chance. There is absolutely zero chance with R-Truth to win this WWE Championship. I'm just happy that this match is happening, though. I think it's like a funny, goofy match that'll probably have some like funny things in it. Maybe with John Cena just destroying R-Truth. Maybe the return of Cody Rhodes. Nah, I doubt that. But like, something could happen. I just don't think that it needs the title. Like, I think someone was saying John Cena, gave WWE like a list of opponents he wants to face during this retirement tour, and R-Truth is one of them. So let them have the damn match, whether it's for the title or not. Who cares? It's a funny storyline that obviously isn't going to mean anything greater than it is, but obviously it's just something that John Cena can do in his retirement tour that like people are gonna enjoy, that are gonna think is funny. So I'm here for the match not being for the title. I don't think that it needs it at all. The next one we have says, I feel like Rusev is bigger than the Alpha Academy. I would have loved to see him part of Seth's faction. I mean, both are trying to save people. Could have worked. I don't think he should have been in Seth's faction. I don't think that really makes too much sense. Like, I wouldn't like completely hate it, but I think that it's for a young superstar. In my opinion, like in Austin Theory, it should be a younger superstar. Rusev's not young, but I do agree with you that Rusev is bigger than Alpha Academy and Otis. Like, squashing them just feels like pointless at this point. Like, that's all they do for WWE is just get squashed by people. So I do agree with you there, but I do think that they're just trying to start Rusev somewhere and then continue to build him up and put him into bigger feuds. Like, there's been a rumor that Rusev's next big feud and major feud is going to be with Sheamus, and oh my, that match is going to cook, and the feud can probably cook as well. So I am super excited with that, and there's a lot of history there. Like, they were in the League of Nations faction together with Wade Barrett and Del Rio, so obviously you can tell a story, and they're just two huge men that are going to throw on a classic match, whenever that may be. So I feel like that's huge for Rusev, and then he can continue to move up and move into bigger feuds. So I do agree with you, he is bigger than Otis, but I think WWE is just trying to start him off somewhere and then continue to build him up and put him into bigger feuds. The last one we have on here says, El Grande Americano's gimmick needs to end right now. I don't mind the gimmick right now. It's gotten a little cold. Like, I'm not like as interested in it as I was before, but I am in firm belief that it was supposed to end at WrestleMania. I think it was going to end with Rey Mysterio unmasking El Grande Americano and revealing that it's Chad Gable. Now, I could be completely wrong. Maybe El Grande, aka Chad Gable, was still going to win the match. Like, he did beat Rey Fenix at WrestleMania. Like, obviously, you weren't going to have Rey Fenix win that because it was so last minute. But I think that's when the gimmick was initially supposed to end. But now, because Rey Mysterio is hurt, I don't think it's going to end until Rey gets back from injury. Now, I could be completely wrong with this, but I think the way this gimmick ends is he's going to continue to feud with guys like Rey Fenix, Penta, Dragon Lee, like all the luchadors. And then whenever Rey Mysterio is back, and I hope it is soon because I don't want to see this legend go out like that. I hope he does return. I think that Rey Mysterio will get a huge pop when he comes back, and then we'll get the Rey feud with El Grande, and whatever the match may be, maybe it'll be in Rey's hometown in San Diego. That could be huge. I think it's for Survivor Series. So that could be when this ends. Rey Mysterio wins the match in his hometown in his return match, and then he unmasks El Grande, reveals it's Chad Gable, and then boom, the gimmick is over. So I think that's when it'll end. I could be wrong. It could end sooner, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys have not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on post notifications, and definitely leave a like down below. Comment down below what you guys want to see from me in the next video. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Peace.